Hey, it's the Sterninator doing another intro to Hellominers. In case you haven't seen the last one, I suggest that you go check that out because I'm going to be just going over a lot of that stuff really quickly. Sorry about my voice, I'm mixed with using a bad microphone and a sore throat, so I'm dying a little bit. Oh, that hurt more than I intended for it to. But yeah, so go ahead and check out the other one. I'll put a link down in the bottom. But if not, I'm going to be reviewing that stuff a little bit here real quickly. Just so that when you do join the server, you're not overwhelmed with all the crazy stuff. First of all, you're going to start here. If you look down, you can see all the stuff. I don't want it loading too far, just because it screws up my recording. But big buildings, all sorts of crazy stuff. We'll get more into that in a little bit. But first off, you're going to notice here you have the tutorial button. You can't really go anywhere until you do the tutorial. I mean, you can do warp and warp like VC or some other city, but I highly suggest against it. Just do the tutorial. I'm going to be going over basically everything in there, so I'm not going to click it. I do suggest that you click it just as a review, as a refresher, so you do fully understand what the server expects for you to do. But next I'm going to be showing you something really new. We got it recently. That's going to help you out a lot. If you have any questions, just come to this spot, and that is the Help Hub. You get to the Help Hub by doing warp Help Hub, and that's \warp Help Hub. I'm already here, so I'm just going to click it and then move so it doesn't teleport me or doesn't try to teleport me. But if you have any questions, just come here. Over here you can see how to make a chest shop region sale sign, should be sell sign, or RSMs. Now, the way that works is in your building, or in wherever you are in the wilderness, anywhere, you're going to want to make these shops. So let's go ahead and click here first. And here it's going to show you basically how to make one. And I'm going to show you an example in a little bit. The first line will say sell. The second line is going to say the region name, which is the name of the area. Which, again, I'm going to show you how to do that later. But, yeah, the region. And the third line is the price, and the fourth contains your name. Make sure that it's your name. When I first did it, I was kind of screwing around and wondering why it wasn't allowing me to do my name. Now I can check the bow of Dix, and it'll say 0, because I accidentally made that while typing in the wrong name. I believe they fixed that bug now, but just to be sure, always put your own name. Same thing is going to go for here if you want to rent out a region, which is kind of a big step up from selling a region. Renting regions usually goes for apartments, hotels, stuff like that. Same thing, rent region name. You're going to put this formula right here, which is 30 days, or $30 forsels for 10 days. And the fourth, again, is your name. So the only one that's going to change between rent and sell is going to be right here and right here. This one's just rent or sell, pretty easy. And then that there. They have other ones like auction and whatnot, but it's the same thing. Here is an example of a chest shop. Now this is how you sell your items in game. You can see here you have the example name, which is the player's name, followed underneath by the quantity that the person is buying. So they're buying 64 forsels. Sorry, that's a bit of a tongue twister. To get cobblestone. So you kind of read it upside down. If you want cobblestone, and you're willing to pay 64, then you will get 64 cobblestone. Or, if you look at the other side of here, I have some numbers and letters that I'm missing. That's the 5S. Not the phone, this thing here. You can sell your 64 cobblestone for 5 forsels. Now, the way that you check your forsels is by checking val or by typing money. Both those will help you check out how much money you have. Now, you're going to start out with 1,000, but I highly suggest that you look around before buying stuff. I know a lot of people join, and their first thing that they want to do is get diamond armor, diamond sword. This isn't a PvP server. There's really no reason for you to have that stuff unless you're just wanting it, which I suggest that you save for later. I didn't get my first set of diamond stuff until 3-4 months into the game, so do be sure that that's not something that you need absolutely. I would suggest kind of putting it into a business venture. My first thing that I ever bought was an apartment that I built right outside Valley City, which you would get to by typing warp VC, or you can get to other cities by typing warp S, warp C, or warp SC, which I highly suggest against. But yeah, I just built one really close by, filled it up, made a ton of money off of it, and yeah. So here's basically some questions answered for how to make signs so you can sell things. How to mark land for regioning. This is super important. You notice that in selling, there's a big thing about regioning. This is how you region. Okay, say you're in the wild and you want to find some land. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, how do I get to the wild? You get to the wild by just warping to a city and walking. No other way to do that. Just walk, okay? So here, once you find some wild land, you're going to mark the corners. And wild land is land that you can place on. Here, I won't be able to place because it's in the tutorial center. But you're going to mark a corner, boom, with any sort of block that isn't normally found in that area. Clay, not normally found up on land, especially red clay. See, they mark the corners. So now you would do help me, and then type in your reason. So you put regioning. Okay? I don't want to do that now because mods will get mad. And then a mod or admin will come and help you. And you'll get this whole area, infinite up, infinite down, but this square. Now, if you want to do a room, which is good for apartments, for renting, you're going to put one in the bottom corner over here, and then where you put one over here, you don't. You're actually going to put it up, because that gets all 3 dimensions for you. Okay? So as you can see, you're going to have all this whole area marked off, and it's going to get its own region inside of a different region. So, like if I were to do here RG, it's going to show me I have a ton of different regions going on. Not here because I don't own this land, but it would show you that you have a ton of different regions going on. And reading that just takes a little bit of time. You just got to kind of get used to it. So let's go on to the next thing here. How to get money and a job. Basically, how to get money and a job. All this part's going to say is go on forums, say, hey, my name is Weed Smoker 42069, or whatever your name happens to be, and say, hey, I'm looking for a job, I'm new. A lot of people are always looking for employees, and forums is the best way to find employees. It's also the best place. Sorry, again, sick, dying. Bear with me. I almost said breed with me. Bear with me. The forums is the best place for you to go to. It's right here, hellominers.com/forums, or just hellominers.com, or it's gonna pop up in the chat all the time. Well, there's the Instagram. If I scroll, I can probably find it somewhere. Whatever. Anyway, you'll see it everywhere. It's all over the place. Just go there, make an account, free, easy. It doesn't ask for like your social security or any sort of crazy stuff. Just basic getting a forum account. Easy stuff. Okay, how to get a place to live? Same thing, go on forums, say I'm looking for a place, or just get online and say, hey, I need an apartment. A lot of people are always selling apartments, so they'll be able to get you one. Now, I know when you join, you're going to want a permanent home, but that's kind of not possible. I mean, it's possible, but a lot of people don't do it, just because it's a big waste of money to the people who actually build these places. Now, I'm not going to click it just because that's kind of easy. You can go on the forums, look for a house, or you can come on here and look for a house. How to use the commands, kind of going to skip that one. How to get out of the city and how to reach wilderness. Just basically warp to the city and walk any direction. What I do is I warp Valley City and then walk south. So walk behind you. I believe it's southwest. I just walk southwest and there's a ton of land. Or warp suburbs and walk north. North is just a ton of free land too. Not free, but land that's available. What else we got in here? The last one is going to be how to get help from a staff member. I already showed you. That's help me, and then the reason that you want the help. Okay? So I've showed you all this basic stuff. Now let's actually get out into the world, okay? I'm going to warp a VC, prepare for some lag, just because cities normally have some. Now when you warp to these places, it takes a little bit for it to load, but you see all these great buildings that are loading ever so slowly. Now these are in the city. The difference between the city and the wilderness is, as I showed you earlier, your money, you're going to have to spend that. Regioning costs 5 fossils, which is the amount of money, 5 fossils per block in the wilderness. But if an area in the city ever opens up for you, or you find one that has an eyesore that's expired or so, that's going to cost you 20 Fs a block, which is a lot if you have, if you're just starting, especially because you won't be able to stock. Right? Dying. But yeah, so I suggest that you do save that money, kind of look around for stuff to help you out. In here you can see a lot of people have shops. Here's another form of the shop sign. We have Kyle Laws, who's selling 64 gray wool for 18F, or Kyle Laws, who's buying 64 gray wool for 15S. Now the reason that it says B and S there is because it's what the person is doing. So Kyle Laws is buying, or Kyle Laws is selling. He's buying for 18, selling for 15, okay? Kind of difficult to read. Once you figure it out, you really get used to it. It just becomes a second language to you. And yeah, that's a pretty simple one. I told you about all the warps. Here's warp BC. Here's warp C, which is undoubtedly where you're going to start out, just because it's where the tutorial spits you out at, is warp C. Now, as I'm making this, they're building in West City. So you're going to click that and you can actually teleport to the other parts of the city here. Pretty groovy, pretty excellent little place here. Oh, Orbo updated their whole thing. Excellent, very cool. But yeah, all these cities, you saw me mention Orbo. You open your own business after getting enough money or just getting a good spot. You can open up a really good business, make some really good money like that. Orbo makes a ton of money just because they're really well known. And a lot of people use them just because they're very good at getting items. They've pretty much figured out the whole, the whole math thing, formula. They figured out the whole formula to making tons of money. But a lot of you are going to start out with homes kind of like this. If I can warp there. Yeah, where you've got just basically random stuff. Whoa. Random stuff all over the place. You know, warp out into the wild, and it's going to look a lot like this. Just empty, useless stuff. There's a zombie over there. He's more interested in what's in that box. But yeah, that's pretty much your tutorial. If you have any questions, just hop online. I'm usually playing all the time. I'm the Sterninator, as I am here, as I am there, as I am on Steam, as I am on everything. If you want to get a hold of me on Steam, then I forget what my name is. I think I'm also the Sterninator or Howard Stern or something weird. But go on forums, find me so you can search for players, and it'll have all my information in my signature. Okay? So just do that, and you'll be able to find me easy. Or if you see me in-game, feel free to ask me questions. I'll be able to help you out. I'm usually a pretty kind guy about that kind of stuff. If not, it's not my job, so don't be upset at me about it. And the mods and admins are pretty much always willing to help you out. Now, if they're not coming to you, don't do like the whole, hey, I asked a mod for help, how come no one's coming? I did a help me request, all this stuff. Because they're trying to play the game too. They have stuff that they're into. They've got farms, companies, all that stuff that they got to do. So just give them a little time to get to you. I promise there's no reason that they would not get to you other than that. Oh, there's a creeper on my side. Happens more often than you think. One final thing that I want to leave you with, if you do find a spot that you like, whether that be here or out in the wilderness somewhere or where you want to put your house or in the city, just type set home home. Okay? And what that's going to do is every time that you type home, you're going to be teleported there, okay? Easy, makes traveling super quick, super fun, super easy. I can't do it now because I kind of screwed up how I had this whole setup with my premium account. But yeah, they're working on it. I have like a 98% faith in them to fix it. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoy Hellominers. Again, check out the forums, hellominers.com/forums or hellominers.com. Takes you pretty much to the same place. Get people to know you, get a job, do all that fun stuff that your dad's been telling you to do for years. Alright, Sterninator out.